Now, I might have started a little bit early, so I'm just gonna to blether for a wee bit until folk catch up. Hello, everybody. My name is Pauline Cordiner. I'm a Scottish storyteller from Aberdeen, and today I am here with my daughter Molly. Were you going to say hello?
Hi.
Molly, how are you enjoying being off school?
Kind of.
Kind of. You miss your friends?
Yeah.
So, are we going to say hello to everybody at Camehill Primary? Hello!
Hi.
And are we going to say hello to all the storytellers out there? Hello! And most importantly, are we going to say hello to all the bored kids and all the bored parents and all the bored grannies and grandads and everyone else, yeah? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hello! So, I reckon that's safely 4 o'clock. For those of you that have just joined us, my name is Pauline and I'm a storyteller from Aberdeen. And I've got a wee story for you. Molly, what primary are you in?
Primary 3-4.
Primary 3-4, and how old are you?
7 years.
7 years old. I would say a good 7.5, maybe even 7 3/4.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a prop here. Can you tell me what this is? I'm going to show it to the ladies and gentlemen, and the boys and the girls, and everybody else at home. What's this?
Strawberries.
Strawberries. Molly planted some strawberries and we are growing them. And we thought we were going to be away all summer at festivals and we didn't know what was going to happen to our strawberries. We thought, are we going to take them with us to Glastonbury? But now that's not happening. Not going to be able to tell stories at festivals this summer, so we thought we'd do some online instead. Now, do we have anyone watching us? Hello, Hattie, age 4 in Manchester. Quinn, age 3 in Lancashire. Aniket, 6 years in Cambridge. Hello, everyone. Awesome. Now, the story I'm going to tell you is all about growing things. So what I would like you all to do out there is I would like you to have a wee think and see if you can think of the most amazing, fantastical plant that you would grow. If you could grow anything. Molly, what are you going to grow?
Magical strawberries.
Magical strawberries. Okay, what colour are these strawberries?
Rainbow.
Rainbow. Are each strawberry rainbow or are they all different colours?
Each strawberry is rainbow.
Each strawberry is rainbow. Brilliant. And do they taste nice?
Very nice.
Very nice. What do they taste of, dare I ask?
Sushi.
Sushi flavor. I don't know, that quickly spiralled out of control.
Delicious things.
Delicious things. Do they all taste different?
Whatever you want.
They taste of whatever you want. So you wish before you eat your strawberries and then
No, you just think it and then the strawberries.
you think it and then the strawberry. Fantastic. That's the kind of thing that we need for this story. So we're just gonna have another teat in. Hello, Ian. Hello, Ahi in London. Sorry, it's very bright. Violet, age 7. Hi, Susie and Violet. Layla, age 6 in Seaton Primary. Yay! Toilet roll brushes. Toilet roll bushes. Sorry, I can't read. You see, all my stories have been through in another room and I decided because it's sunny today we'd do it in the sun. That was a bit of a mistake. Anyway, on with the story. Once upon a time, a long time ago, way back when each country consisted of lots and lots of little kingdoms, there was a king. Now this king was a good king and this king was a wise king. And this king ruled with his good lady wife, the queen, next to him, and between the two of them, they loved the people that lived in their land. They made sure that they had schools, that they had hospitals, and that they had everything that they needed. Now, this king had what do you think this is, Molly?
Crown.
A crown, you're right, the king had a crown. This most beautiful crown made out of the most expensive metals. What else did the king have? What do you think? Where did he live?
Castle.
He lived in a castle, that's right. It was a beautiful castle made out of Aberdeen granite. And the king also, he sat on something. What does a king sit on?
Throne.
He sat on a throne, that's right. And the throne, it wasn't made out of gold or silver. No, it was made out of wood that had come all the way from China. And on one side was carved the king's face. And on the other side was carved the queen's face. The king and the queen were happy, but there was one thing that they didn't have, and that was a baby. And the king and the queen wondered, who would take control of the kingdom when they were too old. Well, one day the Queen said, "Oh, I ken fa could be the king. Fit about Lord such and such for that country over there." And the king said, "No, no, 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 my dear, no, no, no. He is only interested in getting his hands on money and gold. No, 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 he's not right at all. No, no, no." "All right then. Oh, I ken fa about that queenie in that country over there. The princess, she would make an awful nice king." "Oh, my dear, no, she's only interested in parties, spending money and having her portrait painted and beautiful clothes. No, no, no. I ken fa else. Lord, you know him fae the north, ken. He would be awful good. Oh, he's got such a lovely way with words." "Well," said the king, "he might have a lovely way with words, but he's only interested in making war with other countries. No." And the two of them sat down and they couldn't think of anybody that they would have rule their kingdom. And then the Queen said, "Kenneth, my love, I've got an idea. You need to hear a competition, like in all those stories." And the king said, "Oh, yes, yes." And they sat up all night thinking on what competition that they could have. In the morning, the king and the queen had made their decision, and out went people on horseback, and they went into the villages and they went into the towns and they said, "Oyez, oyez, if you think that you could be the next ruler of this country, you need to make yourself available. Turn up at the palace 1 week from now. There will be a competition. Anyone can join in. Lords, ladies, marquises, earls, the whole shebang. Even the shoemakers, even the teachers, especially the nurses and doctors, especially the people that work in the supermarkets. And maybe the children too." And a week passed. And 1 week down the line, the king got up and he yawned, and he stretched, and he opened the shutters and his jaw dropped. Do you know what? There were tens of thousands of people out there. And he looked and he thought, surely all these people don't want to enter my competition. And he looked at the big bag that he had next to them, but luckily, as with most things, most of them were just casual observers. Well, the king had the people line up. He got the soldiers and everybody else to organise them. And then he said, "One by one, you will come to me, and I, or my good wife, the queen, will hand you a seed. You will take home the seed, you will plant it, and in a year's time, you will come back and show me what you have grown. You must give your name and your address, yes, and whatever I hand out, I must see what you have produced, because otherwise I will chop off your head." Well, things were like that back in the olden days. Well, 999 people queued up for a seed. There was David. Hello, David. There was Ivy, age 5. There was Harvey. There were all sorts of people. Were you there, Molly?
Yes.
She was there. You were there. You were there. And I was there too. And we all queued up. And we all got our seeds. So, wait a minute. I've got my big basket here. And I'm away to start throwing some seeds at you. Right. You there. Catch. You there. Catch. Oh my goodness. What is this? I've never seen a seed like this before. This is going to have to be bold. Right. You. Yes. With the ginger hair. Okay, I'm going to bowl this one to you. Oh, this one is so small. And delicate. This one is for you, Lexi. Hang on. Has she got it? Has she got it? Has she got it? She's got it! She's got it! 999 people gave their names. 999 people got seeds. Phil, you got one. Well, the people were starting to move away, and the king said, hold on, Abdi. I think there's someone out there who's got his hand up. And there was a wee boy right in there. This little boy, he was 8 years old, and he was smaller than everyone else. The king could only see his hand, and the king said, bring the owner of that hand here, please. Yes. I hope he's washed it, yes. And the kid came up, because it was a little boy. And the boy was lifted all the way up to the king so that the king could see him, and the king had a good look. And he went, yes, I see you, yes. And Elijah and Ava from Swansea were watching, and they were cheering on because they knew him. And he said, yes, I think this boy, to give him a seed. And the boy was given a seed by the queen. And his name went down, and Harvey said, oh, look at the seed that boy got. It's bright red. The boy's name was written down. And the king said, right, off you go, everybody. Go and plant, and I will see you in 1 year's time. Don't forget to come back, or else I will chop off your head. And the king turned round and he went away. Well, the little boy carried that little red seed all the way home. And what did he find? What do you put a seed inside if you're going to plant it? Molly, what do you put a seed inside? Soil. Yeah, we need soil. What are we going to put it inside?
A pot.
A pot. He got a pot. And he put in some soil. And then what did he put in after that?
The seeds?
No, he didn't put the seed in next. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask Molly, but yes, thank you, Caroline Tompkins. Soil. What do you get from cows? What do you get from cows?
Cow poo.
Cow poo. She's gone straight for it. None of this. Is it milk? No. Is it meat? No. Cow poo. He followed around the neighbour's cow, and eventually it did what it was supposed to, and he mixed in the cow poo and he planted in the seed. That's right. And then he got some more soil, he put it on top, and then he took a watering can and he poured on some water. And then what did he do with it?
He put it in the sunlight.
He put it in the sunlight. That's right. Now, the little boy put it in the sunlight in the hope that it would grow. And at night, just because it was still a little bit cold, he took it in to protect it from the frost and from the beasties and from birds and any little animals that might have tried to gobble it up. And then the same thing the next day. And the same thing the next day. And after 4 days, what do you think was growing in the pot? What do you think it was?
Strawberries?
It wasn't strawberries. Do you think it was a flower?
Maybe.
It wasn't a flower either. I'll tell you what, I'll put you out of your misery. Nothing. There was nothing there growing. Well, it was only 4 days. How long did it take for our tiny little strawberry seedlings to grow? 2 weeks, wasn't it?
No, about 2 months.
2 months? No, it was 2 weeks.
No,
Because we're super awesome. Anyway.
No, we started in January.
We started in January, did we?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, can I tell my story? Or is this going to be, you know, is Alan Titchmarsh going to join in? You don't know who he is. Anyway. 2 weeks passed, and the little boy had put the pot out in the sun, and he had taken it in at night from the frost, and he had watered it. And what was growing in the pot? Can anyone think? No, Susie, it wasn't a toilet roll bush. No, Finlay, a conker. You planted a conker in some soil in a cow pot. Well done, Finlay. That's brilliant. No, well, it wasn't a toilet roll brush, and it wasn't a conker tree. Absolutely nothing. But it was okay. As the mum said to him, dinna you worry, Loon, dinna you worry. There's always something will grow. Well, he kept this up for a whole month, watering it, taking it in at night, taking care of that seed, loving that seed. And what grew in the pot?
Little sprouts.
Not even little sprouts, not a bush, not a flower, not a tree. Nothing. The little boy started to feel sad and he started to feel scared. And he went out and he had a look around all the other people's gardens, and right enough he could see that their pots, which had been empty, were suddenly growing beautiful things. Mum, nothing's growing in my pot. Just you keep on going, she said. Don't you give up. Well, time passed and time passed, and a month, 2 months, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It was almost a year. And the little boy, as he looked around the place, he could see that everybody had amazing, amazing plants, and he had grown nothing. And this is where I want everybody to start typing what the amazing thing is that they would grow. Okay? So go and tell me what you would grow if you could grow anything in the world. I want to know. Well, his mum looked at the empty pot. She looked at the boy's face and she said, listen, you have done what every little boy does and every little girl does when they plant something. You're learning. You're trying your hardest. Do you know what she said? You've kept this up for a whole year. You didn't give up. And he said, but I'm so scared. What if the king's angry with me? And she said, forget that, king. You did your best. And anyway, she said, going like this, you are my brave little boy. Okay, Mum. So the next day, he got up with his empty pot. And he started walking to the king's palace, which was only a couple of miles away. And he walked, and he walked, and as he walked, people were walking faster than him, overtaking him. And they had all sorts of things. There was a man with a wheelbarrow, and in the wheelbarrow there was a palm tree with coconuts, and the coconuts were oozing strawberry jelly. Well, Susie Briggs has an apple tree. Melissa Stewart has blueberries. Oh, more blueberries from Emma Tattersall. A bamboo tree from Carolina. Pizza tree for Eva and Elijah. Georgie, 7 from Halifax, wants to go basil. That's really classy. Huge, giant strawberries from Melissa. Oh, a rainbow strawberry. I'm getting a lot of good strawberries here. Yeah. I do like strawberries. Keep it going, folks, and I'll read them out, all the suggestions. I'll tell you what I grew. I grew this amazing tree, and I painted it silver. And hanging from the tree were all sorts of bells. And when you stepped underneath that tree, it would play your favourite music. I like that. I've had 10 years of telling this story to think that up. What else have we got? Oh, a rainbow strawberry. Oh, a game tree. Now that's going to keep you entertained. Well, all these people came and they all showed them to the king and the queen, and the king saw giant, great big cabbages, giant, great big turnips, and he knew there was just going to be soup and soup and soup for days afterwards at the palace. He saw people with great big long winding vines with pure peculiar flowers that would sing and talk. What else have we got? Quinn wants to go unicorns and fairies. That sounds like an amazing tree. A PS4 tree. Oh, little baby beautiful flowers. Nobody said what they always say. Usually people say that they would grow a sunflower. I just got that handy because people usually say it. Anyway, all these beautiful trees and plants had been seen. The beautiful fruit, the bushes, the vegetables, and the king and the queen were making faces at each other, and the people thought they were thinking, how will we possibly decide? And the king and the queen had seen 999 flowers, trees, bushes, plants. The king said, this isn't right. I took in 1,000 names. Someone hasn't come. Is someone going to lose their head? And he looked off into the crowd. And the little boy stood there, almost at the back, holding his empty pot, his arms round it so that nobody could see. And then there was a little old lady, and she went, "Here, Your Majesty, there's a little boy here, and he's got a pot. Is it him?" And the king remembered, yes, there had been a little boy. Oh, just bring him forward, bring him forward. And then the people started to part, and the little boy started to make his way forward. And he was ever so scared, He was holding this pot and he made his way forward, and there was a rude man stuck his head in about, tried to see what was in his pot and went, yes, look at that, yes, yes. This boy, Petunia, he has grown nothing. I say. People didn't know how to react, but the man said, look, everybody, look, he's grown nothing. The little boy put up his shoulder and hid his empty pot even more, and he made his way forward even slower now, and he was almost starting to cry, and the man kept up, look, he's grown nothing. I grew a great big wonderful tree with all the fruits of the world on it. Petunia, he's grown nothing. And then people started to laugh, and they were really uncomfortable to start off with, but more and more laughed, and soon they were all laughing, and the king frowned, and he signalled for his soldiers to pass the little boy up, and he stood the little boy on his side of the balcony, and he probably got some phone directories to stand him on top of. But it was old-fashioned phone directories. Have you seen the size of them nowadays? They're really thin. And he propped the boy up on top of them so that the boy could see everyone. And he said to the boy, head up, boy. Tell these people what you've grown. The boy looked in horror at the king. Why was he being singled out? And he said to the king, Your Majesty, I grew nothing. Well, tell the people that. Your Majesty, I grew nothing. The king said, tell the people what you grew. And the little boy looked up, and he could see his family in the audience, and his friends. And he remembered what his mother had said. You tried your best. You're a brave little boy. And he raised his head, and defiantly he held out that empty pot, and he said, Ladies and gentlemen, I grew nothing. And some people laughed again, feeling really uncomfortable, and he said, no, don't laugh, because I tried my hardest every single day. I went out and I watered that plant, and I put it out in the sun, and I took it in at night to protect it from the frost and the beasties and the birds and the animals. And even when I planted it, I chased the neighbour's cow around for a whole hour until it did a poop. And I mixed it, and I did everything that I could, and I tried my best. And my mummy says that if trying your best isn't the most wonderful thing in the world, then she doesn't know what is. So I grew nothing, and I don't care what you think. People started to look around them and shift their feet, and the king started to clap. And he looked at the boy, and he smiled, and he nodded, and he said, ladies and gentlemen, don't laugh, because this little boy is going to be the next ruler. You see, those seeds, each one had been boiled for 3 days and 3 nights. There was no way any of them was going to grow. So you all saw that nothing had grown, and either you were so greedy, wanting to be king, wanting to be queen, wanting the money or the jewels or the power, or you were scared at the alternative. But this little boy, he was brave. He didn't give up. He told the truth. But most of all, he treated that seed like I want the next ruler to treat the people of my kingdom. And everybody stopped laughing, and everybody started cheering and clapping. And that little boy and his mom and his dad and his family went to live with the king, and he learned all about how to be the best ruler that ever lived. And so it was. So there we go. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for our wee story today. I hope you liked it. There's going to be more stories from my page, Pauline Cordiner, a Scottish storyteller. Or you can join my friends at Tag Team Tales. We're a group of storytellers who are sharing stories. And if you want even more, there are storytellers from all around the world at the World Storytelling Cafe. And I will leave those links down down below after I've finished filming. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I'm really sorry to the children whose names I didn't mention. It's very hard to tell a story. And Pierre at the bottom, because you end up looking like a pigeon. And thanks once again, and we'll see you all another day. Bye!
Bye.